runs while others walk.
Oh, you gotta love a James Bond theme. I'm sorry, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Let that run a little.
You know, and you got Tom Jones singing them. You know, you've got all the big stars of the day just belting out these tunes that are just so cool.
I know it.
You know.
You know what
except for the Madonna one, I thought that one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it was, wasn't it, Nick? Yeah, you can talk, even though you're not wearing a Hawaiian shirt. You can talk.
We have that one coming up next hour, though, for you.
Oh, God, please don't do that. Don't ruin the movie. This is awesome.
I want to hear Madonna.
Oh, but, you know.
Did you ever hear what Sean Penn said about Madonna?
No.
She was a man in a woman's body.
Is that right? Oh, man. Okay.
Anyway, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, you know, the Bond stuff is just so cool. And kind of fortunate in the fact that my aunt is the when MGM still controlled everything before they got bought out by Sony. She was the vice president in charge of all their library catalogs for MGM, and now she's with Sony. She still does the same job, but she sent me a box set of the James Bond movies.
No kidding.
You know. And now she updates it, you know, whenever a new movie comes out. You know, she actually went and conducted the interviews with Daniel Craig on the last 3 movies.
Really?
Yeah, she did all the backstory. She produced all those. You know,
cool.
So it's pretty neat. And I heard Mike talking about it, how he's a big James Bond fan.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we had fun last night with our contest.
Oh yeah. So, but you know, it's a kind of a neat event. This is one of those times where you actually really are happy to a movie's coming out. And we're really kind of fortunate. Really, we're having 3 movies come out in the next month and a half that are really going to be blockbusters. You know, you got the Peanuts movie, which is going to be a great kids movie. It's great, you know, for all the stuff that we've ever done with Peanuts in our life.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've got Bond, which is coming out tonight.
Right.
All right, and then the Star Wars,
yeah.
you know, next month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a great time to be going out to go to movies, you know.
Great movie season. Of course, you got Woodlawn out there, too, the movie about that high school in Alabama.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we've got Will Smith's Concussion coming out next month.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I saw a preview of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we got more to talk about tonight. We'll get to some politics in a little bit, but while we're on business stuff here, we were talking about the Keystone Pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
There's other oil patch news, so to speak.
Alrighty.
That's what they call energy companies that produce oil when they talk about them on the Business Channel.
Oh,
they talk about the oil patch.
Oil patch, okay.
Yeah. ExxonMobil is being investigated by the New York Attorney General's office. Any idea why?
Well, let's see. Probably has something to do with them wanting to fine them to get some kind of money out of them.
Well, that's always at the end of the day the ultimate ulterior motive. But what they are investigating ExxonMobil for is funding and promoting anti-climate change research.
Okay.
In other words, they're trying to make it a crime for an oil company to promote research that flies in the face of political correctness.
So basically, you can't prove that I'm wrong, even though I am.
Unless you want to go to jail.
Right.
Or get a big fine. So, once again, we have been hearing that... I think there was John Kerry, or maybe it was Al Gore, who said that we should start criminalizing people who are global climate change deniers. They're too dangerous and this sort of thing. Well, this is the step in that direction.
Yeah.
The Attorney General's office is investigating one of the major oil companies in the world, the biggest. By the way, by far the biggest single taxpayer to the United States Treasury of all taxpayers.
Well,
and I'm talking about corporations, individuals, every darn thing. They pay more billions in taxes every darn quarter than anybody else.
Well,
we're going to investigate them because they don't believe in global warming.
Right, and because they have experience all over the world, not just in the United States. If you look at it, Exxon, just by sheer numbers of money that they do, they would be, if they were a country, they'd have the third largest GDP of any country in the world.
A lot of money passes through their coffers.
Yeah.
But a lot of it gets diverted into the U.S. Treasury.
Right.
Billions of dollars every quarter.
Well, and hopefully Exxon will do the same thing to the New York district attorney that they did to Nixon's people when Nixon was running for re-election, and he sent his people in, and he went to the CEO of Exxon and said, "We will audit you forever and a day if you don't contribute to the campaign." And the CEO at that time, looked at him and laughed.
Yeah.
And said, "You don't have enough accountants." And had Nixon's representatives physically thrown out of the building.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the big security guards grabbed them and physically threw them out the front door.
If I were Exxon, I mean, they are big enough, I would say, okay, you don't want us to do business in New York? We'll shut down all our gas stations in New York, and we won't transport oil into New York either. How about that?
Well,
yeah, how about greening up that way in New York, okay?
Well, maybe that time they'll go out and say, you can't do that. We're going to disapprove your application to quit.
Exactly. That's what they'll do, yeah.
No, you can't quit.
No, you will not shut those gas stations down because we want
Here's
to find you.
Here's an executive order. You can't,
but, okay, let's go to Sherry. She's on the line. Sherry, thank you for calling.
Good evening, guys.
Howdy.
Hi, Sherry.
Listen, I don't know. I was on hold talking to Nick. I don't know if you made a comment. I heard this story last night on another radio program.
Yeah.
And Hillary is asking for an investigation in ExxonMobil.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we were just talking about it. I didn't mention the Hillary element of it yet. I was going to get to that. But yeah, as a matter of fact, the New York Attorney General's office has already instigated an investigation.
What state was she a senator from?
In New York, of course. Yeah.
Where do they live now?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And it has to do with them being, climate change deniers.
Well, it also has to do with, I heard last night, that they have stopped donating money to the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, no, say it isn't so. They wouldn't do that, would they?
They'd better get investigated for that.
Oh, my goodness.
How about that?
How dare they stop? Oh, my.
Well, it's...
they did the same thing to Bill Gates. That's why Microsoft was investigated by the Clinton administration.
Right.
Because they would donate to local campaigns, but they would never donate nationally. You see?
Yeah.
So that's why they called Microsoft in and fined them all the money they fined them.
Right.
And now Microsoft donates to national campaigns.
How about that?
Imagine if this woman becomes president, the damage she would do.
We would be
so vindictive.
Oh.
We're right now on our way to becoming a banana republic. If she gets elected, we will be a banana republic. And what I see by that partly is just look at the bribery and the corruption, and then look at the picking and the choosing of which laws to enforce or not to enforce or obey, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they do in banana republics.
Well, it wouldn't be a banana. It'd be more like a pear.
Yeah?
I love you, Sherry.
I like that.
You've been paying attention. Yeah, that's one of my nicknames for Hillary.
Yeah, the pear.
The pear.
The pear. Oh,
spelled
man.
P-E-A-R. Thank you, Sherry. God bless you. Appreciate you being out there. So, yeah, this Exxon Mobil story has got multi-layers, but at the end of the day, it's about money and climate change denying.
Yeah, it's about money.
Yeah.
It's about the government trying to do power grabs and money grabs off of the people who are actually out there doing something to make our lives better.
And also, it is intended to have a chilling effect on anyone else who might want to think about funding or having anything to say about denying climate change.
It's a standard psychological practice. Yeah. It's a standard psychological practice. If you're in a room with a bunch of, say you and I are going into a bar, and we know we're going to get into a fight, the best thing to do is to grab the biggest guy in there and hit him as hard as you can.
Right.
Because if you do that, everybody else around you is going to go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what the government's doing. This administration, they're taking on the biggest person they can find. That way everybody else that doesn't have as much power as Exxon is going to be going, ooh, we better not say anything.
Yeah.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Your analysis is right on.
We'll see what happens. Rex Tillerson, who is the CEO of ExxonMobil, is I've seen him multiple times on the business channel. As a matter of fact, he was just on, I believe it was Fox Business the other morning with, and he was talking about, that the evidence of climate anthropomorphic climate
Yes.
change. Okay, we know that the climate is constantly changing.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we could not exist on this planet if the climate did not change.
Correct.
But to say that we have anything to do with that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's what he was saying. And of course, you know, these oil companies have geologists, they have archaeologists, they have all kinds of scientists who work. That's how they find the oil.
Yeah.
Well, do you think you hire a lawyer to find oil? No, you hire geologists. You hire people who study things that have to do with knowing the conditions of the planet before, knowing the conditions of the planet now, and understanding how it's all part of the natural process of things, irregardless of what human beings do.
Yeah. Well, you only hire...
So they, in other words, have some of the best science.
Yeah. Well, the government only hires lawyers to destroy the people who are actually accomplishing something in life for the good of people.
Which is what's going on here.
Yeah, the attorneys that they have only to go out